Pazin. Hi, them. There's load shedding, and I've been sickly the whole past week. Only today I'm feeling better. Hi, Sippy and Jan. Hi, Ray. I feel better today. But at the moment I thought I'm feeling better, something happened. Hi, today. So, yeah. Yeah. Hi, Kintalk. Hi, Luciana. So, I just wanted to talk today about the shortness of time that we think we have and we don't. We don't. Hi, Dembi. We don't have time. We feel like we do, but we don't. And we're under the impression that there's so many things that we yet to do and God is just going to give us the time. I don't want you to lie to yourself. Hi, Tate. I don't want you to convince yourself thinking that you still have more time. You wake up the next day, you no longer have that time. You no longer around the people that you love, around the people that support you. You wake up, this person is gone. You wake up, this other person is gone. We feel like life is long. It's not. Life is actually very short. I'm trying not to be emotional. Hi, Clifford. Hi, Pastor Clifford. I am trying not to be emotional. I'm trying to let people understand that we are in God's time. And also, guys, not on our time. And we are going on as if we know what is what, when is what going to happen, when is what going to happen, as if we are in control. Yo, guys, let's cut. I so said this time that we're given and this time that we're in is not ours. We are given the opportunity to decide. We're given the opportunity to choose who our friends are, where we work, where we live. But all those things don't matter if you're not living a life that you feel you are fulfilled about. Look, there's days where you're going to feel more empty than the others, because sometimes the most fulfillment comes from helping other people, showing them the way. Sometimes the most fulfillment is actually just being present in your kid's life. But I speak for children. I speak for children a lot because most of our issues, they come from how we raise our children. And if we don't break certain things, they continue to grow, and our children continue to grow in it, and they also continue to live in those circumstances that we decide not to break for them. But time is not on our side. That's why I'm saying that, can we really, thank you so much, Nsutoka, to try to change how we do things now and not wait for things to be so bad. Like, I cry so much for these young girls that get pregnant at school, and the boy is not being held responsible at all. They go live their life, and the girl's life is on hold. She gives birth, she has to take care of the child, feed, and sometimes decides to go back to school. But what happened to parents coming in and say, can we work it out? What should we do? These children got each other pregnant. We need to be those parents that are not afraid. I'm telling you, Tsutokas, we need to be able to speak the truth to ourselves. You know things that didn't work for you. You know how secretive your parents were and that didn't help you. But you are continuing the process. Why are we not breaking our curses, family curses? Why are we just fine with living with them? Like, why are we just comfortable in just continuing with how things are? Like, you don't want to change anything. Like, it can just go on and on. You have no role in it. It's the same thing like when your parents maybe can't afford to stay with you, and then they asked their siblings to raise you, and you're ill-treated there. The resentment that you build up, the hatred you have towards them, and you think that they're unfair of ill-treating you, but you're not their child. They don't even know how to treat an extra child who's not theirs, that they didn't give birth to. And we're continuing having children. But we can't be having children while we're broken people. What environment are we wanting to bring our children in if we don't want to attend to our brokenness as well? You know, our brokenness is so heavy. That's why our children tend to drugs. That's why they sleep with everyone. Sometimes they even get pregnant to pay back for what you did to them. Our children have so much anger. They are such emotional beings, and we're not present. We don't even want to know what they're going through. We don't sit down after they come back from school and ask, how was your day? What made you happy? What made you sad? How can I help you? Did your teacher spoke nicely to you? Was she respecting your opinions? Were you given a chance to speak? If we don't teach that our children have a right to express themselves from a young age, what makes you think that they can be able to do that when they're older? Where are they going to get it from? I'm not saying that children must answer back, but we need to give them a safe space that we never had. I know you're asking yourself, where are we going to learn that? How are we going to learn that if we never got the chance to even know it ourselves? I find it difficult also. I find it difficult. I go to work and I want to make sure my kids have the best. They have the things I didn't have. But you realize that all they want is just to spend time with you and play with you, and you read to them, you put them into bed. But we go to work and we come back so tired. We don't even have the time to ask, how was your day, baby? What did you do? Was your lunch enough? Did you have enough food? Oh, Ntsutokasi, we don't make the time. We don't. You know, I've gotten to a point where I'm actually wanting to remove the TV in my house. I want to use that time where my children would have been watching TV to sit down with them and have a singing or a dance something, or I also ask them, come and help me in the kitchen to cook. We really don't realize that we are raising our children to be the future. And if we are so broken, we are going to continue raising a broken generation over and over and over again. I'm not saying we know what to do all the time, but I'm saying we need to take responsibility and say, you know, I was hurt, and actually also take in the pain. Say I was not raised right. Say maybe my parents also didn't know better, but I want to do better. And read about these things and learn about it. If you need to see a psychiatrist, do that. But don't delay your healing, because you're delaying your children to also be at a better position. You're delaying your children to know you in the best way that they can be. Don't delay your healing because you don't have time. Don't delay your healing because you don't have money. Your healing doesn't always have to come at a cost. Your healing can also be you recognizing what was done to you and what was wrong, and how do you want to do things differently for your children. Write a plan. Write a vision that you have for your family. I know that sometimes you don't even have someone to support you. Your partner just impregnated you, and then you're just living with your children. It's so hard. You know, also what I've realized with what was happening with AKA, yes, they're celebrities, but we need fathers that are present in their children's lives so that they can really experience what a true family is, what a complete family is. You don't always have to be married to them. And the problem is our anger as adults goes through to our children. We speak bad of the father, we speak ill of him, and the child ends up hating him only based on your reasons, not because that's how they really are with the children. We get to be very toxic. I'm speaking so that I want you to understand. I want mothers to put the anger in the back and allow your children to experience both a fatherly and a motherly experience. When we get so angry, we decide to cut the father out, and we don't realize what it's doing to the child. And the child is the innocent one in all of this. You're the one who chose to have a child with this man. We're the one that chose to have children with them. We're the one that chose the father. We're the one that slept with them. But the child is the one who ends up paying the highest price. I just want us to really be honest with each other and open our eyes that we raise the monsters that we see. We are raising the rapists. We are raising the gender-based violent attackers. We are raising the criminals because we are not honest with our children. We're not even honest with our struggles with. We don't even sit down and say, baby, I was hurt when your daddy left. But it's not your fault. Do you ever sit down with your child and say, baby, it is not your fault that I broke up with your father? So that children can see that they are not to blame for where you are. Because when children start to blame themselves for our actions, it automatically changes how they are. It even changes how they think. They automatically be like, oh, we need to be adults now. This is pandemic. We need to go and find things for themselves now because mom and dad are no longer together. We automatically force our children to be adults. I'm talking about how our consequences hurt our children, and these curses continue to go on. If we don't fix it, we are really going to have a generation that is so broken, and we just need to take responsibility and see what we can fix and what we can do right. Our fathers were not there. Our fathers denied us. They're like, no, this can't be my child. This can't be my child. This doesn't even look like me, you know? Those are the fathers that we go. But fathers of these days, they really want to be present in your children's life, but you as a mother are angry. Your anger gets in between the relationship that you want the child to have the child should have with the father. But because you're so angry, you're like, he cheated on me. He went and dated my best friend. And I understand that, but you forget that there is a child now in the middle of this. I'm emotional about it because I've been that child. And there's so many things that you wish that your parents could have said, could have seen, and even correct them, even as you're growing older. But for them to just keep quiet and expect you to just understand and accept things as they are is honestly just enforcing a child. It's emotionally abuse to a child. We need to understand that our children are not our vessels to use as we please, but they are an extension of our creativity, of our wisdom, of our genetics. And they're not here for us to tell them what to do, but we're here to guide them. That's why they turn out to be the opposite of you. But I'm crying out that let us not be selfish and want to have children because you want to keep a man. It's not fair on the child. It's not fair on the child that you're bringing on earth who didn't decide to come, but you want to keep a man by having his child. And when that man leaves, you go drop the child to the grandmother. And you drop the child to the grandmother and she never experiences a mother's love. And then she has her own children and does the same thing. I just want you to understand, guys, that we really need to just not have children as products, but to understand that having a child is a whole new level and it needs you to have healed. It needs you to have healed. And you need to heal those scars before you bring another child. And I'm not saying, we're going to have different fathers for our different children. That's why we're having these scenarios as well. No, Thames is not a scary movie. I'm just telling people how having a single parent and having a father who's not present, like how it really affects children. I also started to imagine things in my mind and make up stories about my family and how it should be because I never had it. I really want parents to understand what they're doing to these children. I want you to put yourself in these children's shoes, And then what you do, you decide to get married before really healing your relationship with your child. And sometimes the boyfriend that you're having even rapes the child. And sometimes he decides that, no, your child must live with their grandmother. And then you decide to live with your children. And now she's no longer part of the family. Do you see the things that you do, guys? And you expect that child to love you unconditionally. Do you know that automatically when you give birth to that child has no option but to love you unconditionally? And it's your actions that make them distance themselves from that. Do you know that your child actually has no option but to love you unconditionally? It is your actions that actually pull them away from you because of the things that you do. You don't protect them. We put our feelings first before our children. And they see that and it continues and it continues and it continues. We are a broken generation. We are a broken generation. There's things we need to sit down with our mothers and say, Mommy, I was so disappointed when you did this and this is what happened. But I want us to move on and I want to love you right. Please help me to move on and to help to build a relationship with you. Like now, for an example, I have a good relationship with my mom now, but that's because I want my children to have their grandmother present. And sometimes you even have to forgive things that you were never asked for forgiveness for, because you end up having to be the bigger person. You end up having to parent the parent. Not that, oh, you're not better or whatever, but because you see what you want to have as your family, what principles you want to raise your children with. And God put you in those situations so that you can do better with your family. Because it's okay, let me test you, let me give you your own and see how you're going to do it. You know? So it's sad. And parents, I really want you to hear this from the child. You know, a child in me is the one that's talking now. Please be careful of these children's sleepovers as well. You guys feel like, oh, I sleep over, you know what, I need the break, and you forget the things that happen in other people's houses and that happen to your children in other people's houses. I honestly don't promote sleepovers, especially if that is not even family, you know. You find that your child was raped because they went for a sleepover and you had no idea what happened. You had no idea what happened. So I'm trying to help you to understand that these things are real, guys. These things are real. And sometimes it's family that commits them. That's why the child won't even be able to report it, because it's the child that actually experiences them and be like, oh, it was uncle. And then, oh, because it was uncle, it was right. So do you understand me? Do you understand that you are the first wall to protect your child? And you are the one who's supposed to sit with them and understand, what is it that is making my child to behave like this? We children don't just become rebellious. Something is happening. Something is getting taken away. And we are busy. Oh no, I'm out in my life and stuff. But you don't even understand what is happening in your own house. You know? So I just, look, Lungi and Umthandazo, I'm really just speaking out on many things that I experienced as a child. And I'm just letting parents know. I have children now. And I'm happily married, but I just want you to know, what do these things do? It's, even for me, you know, I'm a married woman now, but the memories come back. The memories come back. The memories of abuse, they come back. And I become aggressive with my own husband. And then I had to attend counseling to heal and tone down in the independence. These things affect you, and if you don't have God, they affect you for the rest of your life. And you wonder why my marriage never worked. It's because you never healed. You never healed. You never gave your pain the patience and the time and the permission to absorb it, so that you can actually now start a new phase of your life and forgive everyone else who has hurt you and start on a new journey. So most of the time, these things now take over because you never let and absorbed them, and you never allowed them to be like, okay, I accept that this happened to me, this changed me like this made me think like this, it made me dress like this, it makes me behave like this, but from now on, I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let it control my life. You know, I don't know. So I was just touched today to really let you know that, please watch out your children. Your children are speaking to you. And we don't listen. We're just too busy. Listen to your children. Hear them out. Like, spend time. Intentionally so. Intentionally cook and bake with them. Intentionally go in the bathtub and sit with them if you're a mother. And inspect your children's bodies. Go in the bathtub and literally inspect and look at their body parts and see what is going on. You know, look at your child. Can you please go? I'm fine. Can you please go? I'm fine, baby. Va? Don't you worry. I'm okay, Va? Close the door, ne? So, you only find out when, oh, there's police that comes because your child reported something. No. Be so present in your children's life that you don't get shocked about what's happening. And small things
things when your children even join sports. Be there. Well, our parents never had the time, but don't be. Learn from the mistakes that your parents made and be like, I am going to be a different person. I'm going to be a different parent. I'm going to be a different mom because I want to be present in my children's life and I want them to know that I am present in their life. I'm going to be intentionally there. Take leave if you have to. Take leave if you have to. You know, that's what I do. I'm going to go and leave because my child is going to play netball today. My child is going swimming today. Because you prioritize and they can feel it. They can feel that my parents prioritize me. You know, my parents are putting me first. And these things build. I really need mothers to understand. I really understand, that we really bleed as mothers, but we honestly end up bleeding onto our children. So I understand, Maria. I really understand that you don't want to have children because you understand the pain that you have that you haven't dealt with. That's why I'm saying it's important. It's important to say, God, I am so broken. I do not want to break another and bring another child to break. Can you help me to mend so that I can I can be a wholesome person and I can love wholly without having to look at my past and fall apart when I think about it. And be able to start this new life. Like, I was so broken that I pushed my husband away. Like, there were times where I would speak so loud and scream. I would scream my lungs out when I approached him because I felt like that's the only way he would hear me, but I didn't need it to do that. It's just how I've always been protective of myself because nobody protected me. So you come with that, you know, even in any relationship, you come wanting to protect yourself. You're always defensive. I think that's the right word. I was so defensive when I came into my marriage because I felt like I needed to show myself. I needed to be a conqueror, but I forget I needed to heal. I needed to heal. I needed to open myself to God and say, God, I am so broken. I am in so much pieces. There is no ways that I can be able to bring someone else into this life and be totally loving them. Can you help me? All my pieces are everywhere. My mother has a piece. My stepdad has a piece. My sister has a piece of me. Everyone is taking. So I just want you to understand that we really have such a big role we play for our children, and it's us that needs to create an environment that protects them, an environment that loves them, so that you will notice when things happen. You will notice when things happen. I'm just showing you that what you do in front of your children, what you say to them, helps them to be who they are. So be careful. Be careful of what you expose them to now. But we need to heal. We need to heal before we allow our children to go anywhere or be anywhere or be with anybody. Because we haven't learned how to really also fully be present in our children's life because we never were taught. So all I'm saying is I'm a child of God. I'm not perfect. But I can see you. God opens my eyes where I'm like, I need so much mental work. I'm like, hey, take a break. You are everybody's help. And you're not helping the main person, which is you. And you become so strong for everyone because that's what is expected of you. But it gets tiring. It gets tiring to be strong. Being strong is actually one of the hardest things to do because everybody needs and expects for you to be like that. But God said to me, break down. I need you to break down because I need to see how much you need me. And I realized I need him every day. The tone I speak to my children had to change to be so loving and to be kind because I'm used to be defending. Oh, Why did you not do that? No, that's not how we should be speaking. But because of the anger that's installed in me, that's upon my shoulders, it's tiring. It's exhausting. So, as a parent now, as someone who's been given a second chance to right my wrongs and to right my parents' wrongs, is to really trust God to still do the process of healing me. But also having to realize that I've extended this and I can do better as well, and decide to be like, okay, what can I do better now from what my dad did and what my mom did? How can I discipline my children that shows love? And it's so odd. My mom never hit me, but I was hit by every family member. And they would hit me so hard that I could not even sit at the school chair, you know? Those things bring pain, and when I discipline my children, I do the same thing. You know? I do the same thing if it's something that's so bad that they've done. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit this child. They must understand that thing was bad. And I had to realize, no, this is not the way to do it. This is not the way to do it. I needed to concentrate on healing myself. I needed to concentrate on saying I must take full responsibility and full acceptance that I'm also wrong. You know, so I sat down and I said, God, I know I need this. And then I just started to attend a lot of parental teachings, and I realized, there's so much I've done wrong, and I had to sit my kids down and apologize and be authentic about it and apologize. And I apologize and say, why are the things I'm apologizing for? Why am I apologizing for these things? And I said, no. I took full responsibility. I take full responsibility. What you did, you must have misbehaved, but it did not it's not what caused me to hit you that much. It's because of the anger I've installed in my heart to make you feel like you're responsible for me. You're responsible to make me happy. You're responsible to make me sad. We have put that responsibility on our children. Hence, we're like, oh, Mina, if my children is not around, I'm not happy. We've put that so much responsibility onto our children and say, only if my children does this, I'll be happy. So our children are walking on tiptoes because they know if this makes mom sad, she's going to hit me. My mom will hit me. So, my inner child today is the one that's speaking, and that's speaking to all the parents that are out there. That being present in your children's life just doesn't mean you attending things. It also being emotionally present for them. Sit down and hear them out. Sit down and listen to their stories of the day. Sit down and help them act out what was happening in class, because sometimes you will even know what's happening because they can act it out how the teacher is and how their friends are. We need to be those parents now that are emotionally present for our children. Not just only like, oh, I'm going to attend that sport, whatever, you know. Be emotionally present for them. Go at the stadium when they're running, even when they're lost. Raise your hands up and scream like nobody's problem, and go and hug them and say, you did so well. Because we end up praising our children when they don't need the praises anymore. They've passed the phase where you have no influence at all anymore because you lost that right. So I really thank you so much, Lesakanya. I'm really just wanting to be vulnerable because I want parents to understand that actually your role is the biggest when you have a child. You are actually the greatest teacher, more than the teacher who spends 8 hours or 6 hours with your child. You are the greatest teacher for your child. I even hear the tone that they speak on and how they express themselves, their confidence. If I'm not confident, my child won't be confident. They'll be shy and hiding themselves. But if I am, and I'm like, oh no, you can do this. Even if they lost, the fact that I'm there and I pushed them and said, yo, you did so well here. You didn't even have to win. But the fact that you did this race and you ran, Wow. So that's why that inner child needs to break out, so that you don't have moments where you break out to your children. And we need to forgive our children's fathers who are not present, because they also might have been going through some things, and we are not seeing that because we are focused on how you broke my heart, you cheated. But they're also broken. But fathers also need not to take themselves out of the picture because you're no longer with the mother. You need to be emotionally available for your child and say to your ex and say, Mama Kabani, umntana ngiyamthatha ngale weekend, I'll just want to go and shop with them. If you would like to come, please come. Nibe senikhulumile nama partners enu. Help your partner understand that you respect the mother of your child and there can be nothing more. And help them your children to understand that, okay, you're gonna see other children that I have, but you are all my children and I love you the same. But act like it as well. Don't say it. Because you guys start showing favoritism. These children are feeling those things. Those children are feeling those things. I'm just trying to show you small things. My aunt used to go shopping for school uniform with her kids. She wouldn't even buy me a pair of socks. And that hurt me big time. I'm like, this is my mom's sister. You know? So I'm trying to say, be careful. Be careful on what you do for your children and what you expose them to. Be intentional about the environments you expose your children to, and pay attention to the things that they do. Listen to their stories. Play part in their stories and say, I understand you and your feelings are very well accepted. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to cry. Because now we're just telling them, there's no need for you to cry about this. So we're shutting them emotionally. We shut our children emotionally because we were never taught how to express ourselves. You would be hit and then you must go to your room. So even now, I don't hit my children. Like, it's hard. Like I decided that it's not going to work. And if it happens like once in a year, I still comfort them. I say, come to mommy's chest. I am so sorry I hit you because this was so difficult for me to do because I love you. I do not enjoy hurting you like this. But I want you to know it was not your fault. So I was like, I don't like this. I didn't like what it made me to become, because sometimes you cannot even control it because ngempela awukaxoli la ngaphakathi and it's got nothing to do with the children, but that anger is pushing you to just wenzeni, I've been saying this over and over again, more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. How many times must I repeat myself? The moment it makes you feel horrible, that's when you know you have to stop. There are many ways of disciplining your child without having to hit them, because that they will remember forever. Trust me, that's why I remember my beatings. Take away something that they like. You rather do that than hitting them, and then they've got a memory that, you know what, ngashaywa, and they can't take that away. They will always have that against you. Please, I understand. I remember all my beatings. I remember where they happened. I remember why they happened. I remember the weapon that was used for them. So, please, like, I'm just asking from the bottom of my heart. Leave it alone. Like, if you know that you feel it in you that is wrong, I I even decided that me and my husband, I said, if the children did something to me and I'm the man who's hurt, he must discipline them, because he will be the one who's calmer at that moment. I might say words that I can never take back. And if he's the one who saw what the children did and is not happy, he must not approach them and ask me to approach them, because I will be calmer, because they would have done whatever they've done to him. You know? So that was just my cry today. That was just my cry today, and I just wanted to spread it all out. Ukuthi ukukholisa umntwana is a purpose on its own. If you don't have a gift, if you don't even have a talent, trust me, raising a child is a purpose-filled life already, because you are channeling and you're patterning the child's direction, and you are being given that responsibility. And ask God to help you to heal first that inner child in you. Anger burst out and hurt this innocent one who's trying to see the better you, who's trying to make things better. That inner child sometimes reminds me that, hey, you might have been through so much. You don't have to go through that again. Ngiyacela, please, ningakwatela ubaba womntana to a point where you don't allow them to have a relationship at all. Hurt yakho, umbrella, and keep it to yourself and try to protect your child from it. And don't speak ill of your children's father to them. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help them. Don't speak ill of your children's father to them. Don't. They could never forget those words. They would never forget what you say about their father. And ask for forgiveness and go and correct it if you've done it. Sit down with your child and say, baby, it was wrong of mommy to speak ill of daddy. Ukuthi daddy umampara, udaddy aka-afford, udaddy akafuna ukwenzela lutho, udaddy akasithandi, udaddy is just an animal. Don't. You need to be able to separate the two. The child needs both of you. Don't choose for the child who the child should love more, who the child should favor, who the child should spend more time. No. The child needs both parents. Ngiyacela, stop choosing to be a single parent. Stop choosing. You are being selfish. You are being selfish. Rather have tried, and then uyazi ukuthi uzamile. And if it means you don't need to be present, try and not be present, but please be decent. Please be decent. Don't badmouth your children's father to anyone for that matter. And there's those who don't choose to remain decent and you rather lie to your child and say, yes, baba kuyakufuna in your life, because you rather feel like, at least he does. Then umntana resent ukuthi umama wathi ukuthi ubaba vele zanga ngifune from the word go. And the child grows up with that. I grew up thinking, ubaba kangifuni. You know? So I'm so grateful that you guys are here. And you must remember, abantwana vele don't forget, especially words that are said by the mother. I remember one time my mom said, it was a mistake actually to even have you. So, no, Rita, I'm just saying, protect the child. You can't just say, no, the father hates you, you know? So all I'm saying is, let's learn to protect our children, but let's protect them, allowing both of the parents to be present and to play their role. Ubaba, if you want to go to baby or hadlandisa umntana esikolweni, allow him. And ngama weekends, if who's taking the children, allow him to do that. Give him the benefit of a doubt. I don't want to lie to you. Most of us I'm not talking about somebody's experience. Most of us girls who have absent fathers, we got molested. Not once and not twice. Because all those other men were never afraid because there was no other men to protect us. It happens to a boy child as well. Sometimes the boy child, the dad is not present, and sometimes they turn out to be worse than their dad. So that child in me today is the one that's speaking, and the experience itself was meant to happen so that I can speak about it and allow parents to see the perspective of their children. They might not speak like this now because they're young, but no, it's not a filter. My eyes are literally, I've got an eye issue anyway, so when I cry they really turn red, like as if blood is on my eyes. But it's really important that you don't shut your children out. You give them an opportunity to hear them. You let them and you allow them to speak from their heart. But truly I understand. So the wounds are going to be there, and we just need to help our children to heal. But we need to start with ours first. We need to start with our wounds. We need to start giving our wounds attention, because we end up bleeding on everyone we're supposed to love. We end up bleeding on everyone. We end up building a wall. We end up just closing everybody. Everyone. So please don't just make it about you. Just don't only make it about you, but also make it about your child. Make it about them, and don't forget that you had the child now. Please take full responsibility to help them as well, to navigate this new life of mom and dad are separate. But you don't have to say anything bad about any of the two. Just say it is not what you did or anything. So I'm going to try to attend to some questions. Please note, guys, I'm not claiming myself to be any psychiatrist or a counselor. I am a person who has gone through this, and I'm just speaking from what happened and what has these consequences caused in my life. Being raised by a single mom and who was not getting along with the father, and I ended up resenting my father because I spoke bad of my father, and I ended up getting molested because I ended up living in different homes, and in the different homes my mom's own sister ended up ill-treating me, and I felt like a maid, and I was molested for years. And then now I got married, and I see that anger going towards my children, and I really had to account for it and be responsible and say, let me heal my first, and then I will learn on how to be accountable to my children as well. So, yeah. Like I say, I'm no psychiatrist, no counselor. I'm just an inner child who's crying out today, because it's just reminded that we had a long way, we had a long road, and people don't understand where you are at now, and they're like, oh, and then, but you survive those things because you're supposed to speak life to somebody else who's going to be like, if somebody went through it and was fine. No, Bear, it really helped me to cry, because sometimes you have to like take it out, like, so it really helped me. Thank you so much, Bear. Wichiro, it's thank you so much. So now I'm gonna have to explain myself to each and everyone that's coming. I'm so sorry, guys. Nifika saying I'm much better now. I'm calmer. I was just saying, Guti, co-parents really need to work to make sure Guti Mtana grows up in a healthy environment, and we need to heal as the parents that have broken apart. Oh, thank you so much, Bear. We need to helped and also involve our children on what would they like us to do as co-parents, what can we improve on. Like, involve your children to like, okay, this next life, me and daddy are not going to be in the same house. We're going to be in different places. But how would you like us now to continue with this road of you being our child that we love very much? Would you like us to both take you to school? Would you like us to be present when sports is playing? And how do we keep this relationship not as it was before, because it's going to be hard, but how do we... Thank you so much, Mara. Someone, I know. That's why I'm stopped crying so that my eyes could be clear. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't want to be off track. But do sit down with your children with a smile on your face. Don't look sad because they already feel like they are the reason why you guys are breaking up. Sit down with them. Tell them that you are happy. Let them know that you are both happy. And you love this child, and the child is not the reason you are where you are at. And ask them, how would you want us to do things differently from now on? How would you want us to be involved in your life from now on? Would you like to know more of Daddy's family side? Get to know more of what Daddy likes to do. So spend weekends with Daddy and maybe weekdays with Mommy, and also swipe and do it the other way around. When we go to gatherings, would you like to... Sorry, Mercy, I was crying. Would you like us to take you with and introduce you? And so do get the children involved, because they feel like now, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm part of this, hey? Like, so I'm not the cause of it. They don't feel like they were the core of the problem. So we need to learn to do that with them. No? And also learn to be present in our children's life. Being present is being able to even take an off day. I won't cry, Tabani. To take an off day and be like, I'm going to watch my child because we are Dali Sport today. And be proud about it. And be proud about it and be like, I am going to watch my child play sport today, and I'm going to take a full day. We're going to have ice cream. We're going to have so much sweets that we won't be sleeping, and we're going to drink fizzy drinks. Ukume diet to about you. Stop making it about you. Take your child out. I was crying, guys. So sorry that you arrived now. And say, no, I'm going on leave because I'm going to support my child. Even if they don't win, you start to show them that winning is not always the end game. It's not, somebody always has to win and somebody has to lose, but there's nothing, it's part of life. Then slowly your child gets to understand, oh, these things happen. They're not a big deal. We can move on and set other visions we want and set other goals we want for the next year, for the 5 years to come. It's not really entirely my responsibility, or it's not entirely my fault, as Mommy and Daddy has said. We're still having a decent life. Daddy's here supporting me when I go for sport. This fighting in front of the kids also hurts them. You know? So rather take the child and take them somewhere and fight whatever, come back and heal. So thank you so much, Coco. That's what I want. I want mothers to stop speaking ill of the fathers of their children, even if they are bad. You'd rather have the child find out by themselves than you having planted the seed and the child will always looking for those bad things that dad, mommy said dad has. Same way, if the child are with dad don't speak ill of mommy. Don't plant the seed in the child, because the child will start looking for those things that you said that they're bad and will always be looking out for them. Again, be present in your children's life. Inspect their children's body, especially if you've got young kids, girls and boys, because boys get molested as well. Take a bath. Don't make it so obvious. If you are young kids, say, oh, guys, we're going bathing together. Like, I know it's not safe, it's not genetic. What do you call it? Hygienically, whatever. Yeah, but Make your children comfortable and know their body. So if somebody touches you here, baby, you let mommy know and tell the teacher. If somebody touches you there, tell the teacher, go run to the teacher. That moment is happening. Don't wait for me to come to fetch you at school. Tell your children. Let them know what's not acceptable, where people are not supposed to touch them. And also, Nozi, I will try to save this live video. I'll try. Please DM me, Nozi. DM me and I'll try to save this video for you. And also, try not to favor your children. Don't say, oh, Yazi, and compare them. Hi, Yazi, you know, Utandi, Yana is always getting A's at maths. Why when he maths are difficult for you? Oh, why performing guys? No. Your children are gifted in different ways. Try to rather maximize on each of their gifts the way that they already are than you trying to make the other like the other. Kungawo, please DM me. I'll try to save this video. Please. If favoritism actually builds such a heavy relationship for your children, they will always feel like, oh, ngiyazi ukuthi mama uhlala goes with this one. Mommy always favors this one. Mommy will never discipline you like this. Mommy will never hit you like he hits me. Mom will always shout at me more than she shouts at you, especially firstborns. Please, guys, please be careful. The order of your children. We end up giving too much responsibilities to our firstborns. This thing of deputy parenting your firstborn ends up not fully developing as a child, because you fully give them a full responsibility of being a mother. That's your job. You chose to be a parent. You don't go out of season and be like, not today, not this week, I'm not making food. No. You chose to be the mother. You chose to be the father. Don't give that responsibility to the firstborn. It is not fair. They don't get to grow fully. They don't get to experience things. And they end up resenting you because you give them so much responsibility. They must lock the door. They must switch on the oven. They must take out the clothes from outside. No. Once they all reach a certain age, give this responsibility to them and put them at the list and have the children do it, each and every one of them. The children end up being very distant from each other as well, and that's because of something you planted. So thank God, my sister, we have a 15-year difference. So she's here in Joburg now. I was taking her all over varsity. But how I felt as a big sister to be able to do that, and to be financially be able to do that. When she comes to my house, she cooks. I've been doing that all her life. And I've got younger children. She loves my children to death. But that's because there's a huge age difference. And I do things for her with a whole open heart because I love her. And I want her to know I'm your big sister. Anytime, emergency, even when you're having fun, call me. When you're crying, call me. When you're even happy, call me. I'm your sister for life. Nobody's taking me away from you. Nobody's going to change how I feel about you. So I go visit her at varsity and she'll be jumping all over the place. My sister's here. And I'm like, I feel so appreciated. You know, God heals me through her as well. But I don't want to give her that responsibility. The same thing what we do. We're like, oh, my child heals me. And you let the child know. You're giving the children a responsibility to always make you happy. So be careful. Be careful. And when we don't heal our past, when we don't concentrate on what our past has done, we end up getting triggers in the house. And once those triggers happen,
Hello, Mommy.
we can't. Hello, Pumpkin, how are you? I'm good. I'm still on a live. I'm sorry. I'll come and play in it when I'm done. I'm almost done. You see, they're complaining. But watch out for the triggers. The triggers will help you to even prioritize what do you need to work on first as a person. Thank you so much, Triessa. Those triggers will help you. And the ones that trigger you the most and make you all agitated and those are the ones you have to really concentrate on first because they are like a bomb. They're trying to ruin your life. So really watch out for your triggers. Learn them and be like, okay, what can I do to reverse the mitosis? And honestly, what do you call this? What's the word? What do you call it? Is it complimenting? But when your children do something good, make them feel it. Like, make them like wear a crown if they have to. Like boys, you know, they feel like Superman and they've got powers. Let them jump on the couches and feel like, yeah, I can freeze time. And you pause the TV. And you're like, yo, did you just freeze the TV? Do you get me? Happiness is a choice. And once you decide to have it, you spread it in the house. And you spread it in your children. Those your children, you let them know that I can't afford this at this moment, baby. Don't be like, hey, I don't have money. No. Speak to your child with love all the time. And don't be quick to anger and then be quick to dismiss them. Oh, baby, this week I don't have money to be able to afford this. Do you think it can wait for month end? Speak to them in a sense. I love you too, Zianda. Please inbox me. Please speak to your children as you would have wished that your parents did. And yet we're trying to correct those things now. And yet we're trying to rewrite our own books. We're trying to have our own visions of our own families. And the vision, it's not for only you to write. You sit down with your children. Guys, how do you want mommy to do things differently now? When I bake, I'm always burning. So what? Should I always lower the stove or should I let you guys bake? Like, we can't always be serious and sitting down with our children. We're raising little, small people. And sometimes they just want you to step into their world. Happy. Viola, my little sister 3 years old. She doesn't talk to me. I understand. But now open yourself to them. Like, hey sis, can we go on a date? What would you like to do? Propose that, especially when you're the sister that has the money. Because sometimes the sister feels like you're the one who has the money. You get to decide. You actually are bossing them indirectly and you don't feel it. But because we want to build this relationship, say, sis, I've got a few money. Can we go out? And sis, send her flowers. Be romantic as well. Like, really treat people that you love the way that you would want to be treated. And that's the thing I've learned when I finished varsity. I don't think a month goes by without me receiving flowers 2 or 3 because I do the same to the people I love. And it's not like I wanted that, but it's how I express my love. I even write letters. I write letters, guys. I honestly write letters to my siblings. I write letters to my friends. I even write letters to my mom. Mom is Xhosa, right? But she's an educator. So I write letters in our language. Like, I write them in Xhosa, and I'll paste pictures and like paste kisses with my lipstick on the letter, and I'll have the kids pasting their hands on the letters because that's how I express my love. And you open that person up to now learn, oh, this is how it's done. So my mom never learned how to love like that. Now she does it to my kids because I decided I'm not going to hold her against the things that she failed to do. I'm going to just do right by myself and love her the right way. And I'm hoping that she will see it, that this child loves me. This child has forgiven me. And I've told her though. I've told her because sometimes you not only have to show in actions, you have to say that, I forgive you. I did tell my mom, Mom, I forgive you. Mom, I understand at that time you didn't know better. Mom, I understand at that time you had no one else to consult, no one else to show you, no one else to teach you. So I do not hold it against you. The time that you were born in, the era you were born in, the family you were born in, you didn't choose all those things. So I cannot hold you responsible for that. When I was molested, I think that was the one that broke her the most. I told her, you were not at fault. I went to stay with my grandmother, and the people that molested me were the neighbors. And I said, it was not your fault. It's them that had the desire to do that. But please know, whatever you think I haven't forgiven you about, I forgive you. I forgive you. because our parents won't be able to move on. And don't forget, you need some blessings from them. I'm not crying now, Abigail. I was crying. Sometimes we need to close that channel so that we can now build on a freshly opened soil and plant new seeds. And planting new seeds, they need a fresh environment as well. So you have to be able to prepare that environment to be fresh. You can't think you're going to be healing while you're leaving other broken hearts behind you. How is your healing going to grow? How are your healings going? I can be messy. I would love to. I love love. I love giving love. Like, it's the one thing that makes me so happy. It's so funny. I know. But messy, inbox me. I would love to. I'm taking that with bold hands. I'll be fully responsible. Anyways, let's get back. So we have like tickle Thursdays in our family, where we tickle the children until they fart, sneeze, like until they cry out their lungs. Because we tell them that happiness is something you are fully responsible about. You are fully responsible about, and you're fully in control of your own happiness. So when we are not there, mommy and daddy, you guys can tickle each other. You guys can just tickle each other. So honestly, there is no manual. I don't want to lie. I love you too, Avum. There is no manual, but there is always a way around, and your family is designed in a certain way. You know best what your family needs. You do. You just have to pay attention. Good. Actually, my kids, I love you too. No, say actually, my kids, yes, bantana bami, batanda, I'm a chicken feet. Why did you just buy the kids chicken feet and let them cook it? So I know we try to enforce our dreams as well to our children and be like, hey, you need to be a doctor, Wayne. No, allow your children to grow and experiment things. Yes, guys, small things. You know how fun it was to play in a wheelbarrow? Okay, I grew up in the village. I'm a village girl. So like that was like the closest thing to having a bike. And like we'll put each other in a wheelbarrow and we'll run around the yard. And mud slimes. Oh, thank you so much, Rachel. Mud slides. Oh, natural ones. When it's raining, you go outside and you slide in the mud. Oh, guys, that made me so happy. So you'll be so surprised that little things make your children happy. I mean, you just have to compromise on a few things here and there. Sometimes instead of getting a new hairstyle, get your son a bike. Have a bonding session. We have Saturday bike runs in the morning. So we have Thursday tickle till you die. It's tickle till you die on Thursdays. Saturday, it's bike day. The whole family, we go out and bike together in the mornings. You hear the children, no, man, I don't want to wake up. I'm like, are you sure? Should we leave you? They always want to like, okay, we go. We get on the bicycles early in the morning on Saturday morning. We go biking. Oh, and Monday, it's a swimming class for the whole family. We never knew how to swim. My kids are the ones who knows how to swim. I will be drowning. Me, you guys, the big sis that you think I am, I'll be drowning and my own kids will be saving me from drowning because they attended swimming class is like when they were two. So now we have a class together as a whole family. So we get to play in the pool and they laugh at us while we're drowning. And then they have their own class on Thursday. So keep your family busy building in love, building together. Read a book together that one child picked. You act out the characters. You do a whole play. Sunday, when we come back from church, we dish out and have a picnic outside. We romanticize our lives and we teach the children how to do that. They want to feel good about the day. Whatever, do a whole setup. You don't have to have expensive food. Cook what you have. Go sit outside in the sun. set up the table, sit on the floor with the couches, and we're like, okay, we're having picnic today. We're eating whatever we have. We don't have to be expensive about it. Thank you so much, Zamo. But I don't want to lie. All the experiences that I've been through taught me to be this person. Now, I feel like life is a second. Like anyone can be taken away from me anytime. So I appreciate everyone. I make sure I don't fall short on my side. And they do the same thing. I've never felt so much love like right now these days. Smangele, I am your sister. DM me. We'll continue talking this conversation. So I really, really want you to be intentional. Be intentional about wanting to build good, proper relationships with your family. And guys, now that you've forgiven your parents or you're in the process of forgiving your parents, visit them. They miss you, though they don't say it so much. Get at home and do some helping around. Fix the windows and the sink and the shower and clean up the yard if your parents are too old. Go and drive them around and be like, oh, you want to go on a spa? But when you have healed, these things come easy. And the doors get open for you financially to also do these things, to express your love. And even you are never too old to even teach. You are never too old to teach yourself. You are never too old to change as well. Especially when that change is good for you and you believe that it is. So, just to really wrap things up, when I got married 10 years ago, I was still very young. And really, my husband would just be so angry with me because I would be like, always so agitated, defensive, Miss Independent, my word and my way. But that man was very patient with me. More patient than I deserved. Hence, I'm able to do that for somebody else as well because he did it for me. Nobody was putting a gun on his head. So you must be willing to sacrifice some things if you want to change. And you must be honest to yourself. You must be honest to yourself. So, being honest to yourself, you also state down your weaknesses and things that you're struggling with. And attend to them one by one and say, God, I also need your help because I can't do this alone. There's no way. What makes you think that I'll be able to do this now? So God, I struggle with anger. When I'm sad and you've heartbroken, when you lie about me, I don't even want to correct it. You see which are the things. It's very rare, but I have accepted it, that I've got too much love. And I know where it comes from. It comes from how I grew up. So my love can never be equal to anybody's because we have to kind of have maybe the similar experiences. But as long as I can be... Max! Down! Put him down. Max! Why are you not listening to your grandmother? Max, I'm your grandmother. Put him down. Come here, baby. Come. You see, even dogs love me. Come, baby. Come, Max. Go take Eddie home. So, come. So, close the door, Jaso. Yes. Look. Ooh, boyfriend yakho banjani. So, once you start building this healthy relationship with the people that you love, with your parents, do you know how easy other things in your life fall into place? It really doesn't. It's sometimes so easy now to even introduce your partner to your parents because of the person you've showed them you could be, that you are forgiving, that you give second chances, that you're not perfect as well. but you want to be in this life and you want to make things better. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, you guys are using your own data. You didn't even have to stay this long, but I felt so respected. I felt so heard. I felt so important. I felt so loved. I felt like it mattered what I went through because of how you guys have responded. So thank you. Thank you. Even on the days when I felt like, ooh, uNkulunkulu sekangitesta too much, but because there's people like you who are hearing my voice and who feel like they are at a better place and who feel like they can make some changes because they have heard the inner child's voice through what I said, then it was all worth it. Each and every one of you make my pain all worth it. If I'm able to anyhow change some of you's mind. So Mixes wants to go out. Go check him again. He's gonna jump out there. Thanks, baby ne. Please. Just because you listened and you heard me out. Oh, Ngateko. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel important. Thank you for making me feel heard. Thank you for making me feel like someone. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for respecting. You respected my time that I took. I took so much time. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to save this video. I'm definitely going to save it and then I'm going to try to post it. But it's going to be so long. How am I going to send it to you guys? But just inbox me so that we can find ways. Please inbox everyone who wants this video. Please inbox me. Send me a DM so that I'll download it and I'll send it via email. Because it's been long. I think it's been an hour. But all I'm saying is, yeah, Zukuti experiences that you go through are someday going to save someone. So whatever you're going through is not just for you. Sometimes it's for your own sister. Sometimes it's for your own mother. Sometimes we have to save our own parents. Sometimes we even have to save our own children of something that had nothing to do with you, but it happened to them. But your child never knew you did, and somehow you ended up saving them because you know the experience and you understand it. You understand the pain, you understand the trouble, you understand the consequences of whatever happened. So, ngiyabonga isikhathi senu. You could have done anything else better, anything else, but you chose to be here. So, and please inbox me. I will download this video definitely because I think it was important that I share this today. So, I love you all. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being who you are. I love you, Hope. I love you, Smangele. Messi, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Happiness, Nyaktanda. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, Mimi. I love you so much with all my heart. Thank you, Nkateko. Thank you, Nkulego. Thank you, Shatsi. All of you, each and every. Asife, Nyabonga Stano-sam. Thank you for the follow. I will try to do this as much as consistent as possible. So